Hi, I'm Paris Williams. I'm a writer. I'm a poet, spoken activist. I am a free spirit. I am artist in all realms. Sex and art comes hand in hand is by how you perceive things, how you actually go about everyday life. How do you see sex itself and how do you see art itself? It's kind of like a vast statement to say because it's just so much in art and sex itself. It's actually one. If you ask me, it's like a binomo. It's so much, and sex and art. It's kind of like just one thing itself. When you talk about art, you expressing something. You are experiencing a moment, an intimate moment. You experiencing an actual feeling itself. So art could be like sex. To me, it is. It's just like a way of just releasing a toxin or how you feel about just life or that feeling. In art, you could just relate to something. You could relate to a painting because that express who you are as a person. And with sex, it's kind of like you could relate to sex, actually relating to that person and being vulnerable at that moment. And that's what art is vulnerability. It's being vulnerable at that one point in your life and in that intimate moment that you have. So art and sex is kind of like intimacy as well. It's kind of like having a relationship and only you in that painting or you in that person or you in that experience can actually have together because it's intimate. What defines well sexuality to me? Sexuality is art, and I can explain why. Because sexuality is what you prefer. What attracts to you the most, and the beauty of a human being and the body itself and actual spirit. It definitely it just explains how to express oneself through art and just experiencing life. So sexuality is just life itself and what you prefer as a person. My sexual preference has to be females. I love guys dearly. I definitely do love my boyfriend that I'm with, but um, there's something about a female that I can relate to, and they could relate to me, and we could have that intimate moment with each other. Like we could relate in a certain way where it's just more intimate, but so mystical at the same time. And something with men and women is that it's more so who is stronger. Well, to me, like who is going to be that superior in that bed. And with a female, it's more so you could just be who you are and just let it flow. I mean, with guys, it could be the same way, but for females, on my behalf, I feel more obligated to just be who I am in that one moment, with that person being intimate. And with guys, it's kind of like I can be who I am, but I will as well stay to my part as being a female. But for a woman, you could be that masculine part or you could be that feminine part. But with the guy, you gotta just stick to that role. Sometimes it's just better to expand and actually being able to be that masculine as well. So I like the fact that I could just be that masculine and just, be who I am, but as well be a feminist and just being so, calm and enjoying that one experience or that moment. Follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is Who is Paris Williams. I'll write it down on the subscription. Just be aware of all the short films that I'm gonna be doing, as well as with Twin Flames, Jalen, Andre. other people, you could contact me, email me. I'll make sure I put everything down, the info, so you could just, let's just collab as artists and just make this into the new renaissance, which it is right now. So just subscribe me. I'll make sure I put everything down there, and let's just work.